Fleet Commander Zarlin Vex stared at the holographic display, his four eyes blinking in asynchronous disbelief. The invasion of the insignificant blue planet called Earth had been proceeding exactly according to the strategic simulation until it wasn't. Someone explained to me, Zarlin said, his voice deceptively calm, how our entire Northern Hemisphere assault force was just disabled. The bridge crew of the flagship Inevitable Conquest shifted uncomfortably in their exoskeletons. No one wanted to be the bearer of such ridiculous news. Finally, Strategic Officer Plex Tora cleared her throat. Sir, it appears that a single human has found a weakness in our biomechanical interface system. Zarlin's secondary breathing sacs inflated in what his species considered a laugh. A single human? Please tell me this is some elaborate joke to celebrate my 700th orbital cycle. I wish it were, Commander. Plex replied, her tentacles nervously coiling around her data tablet. The human's name is Dr. Amanda Reeves. She's a neurobiologist specializing in something they call electromagnetic brain wave patterns, but apparently she discovered that our neural control systems operate on a frequency that can be disrupted by our specific modulated signal. And this Dr. Reeves, she did this alone without their military. Zarlin's voice had risen in octave, a sign of extreme stress in his species. Yes, sir, according to our intelligence, their military leadership dismissed their theories as, I quote, absolute crackpot nonsense. The commander slumped back in his gravity chair. The Galactic Hegemony had conquered 37 sentient civilizations across 3 spiral arms of the galaxy. Their technology was thousands of years beyond these primitive humans. Their invasion force numbered in the millions, and now he would have to report to the Supreme Overlord that they have been thwarted by one single human. Show me this Dr. Reeves. He ordered the main view screen flicker to life, showing surveillance footage of a human female with curly red hair tied back of what humans called a ponytail, what appeared to be sleeping clothes decorated with small cartoon representations of felines, and drinking from a mug labeled science. It works. That is our nemesis. Zarian couldn't believe his four eyes. She doesn't even have proper battle attire, Sir. Communications Officer Nick. Squalor interrupted. We are receiving a transmission from Earth. It's her. Meet Dr. Amanda Reeves. Put it through. Zarian growled. The screen changed to show Dr. Reeves now sitting in what appeared to be a small laboratory. She was smiling. Hello, alien invasion force, she said cheerfully, waving at the camera. I'm Dr. Amanda Reeves. I hope you don't mind me reaching out, but I figured we should talk about the fact that I just shut down your entire Northern Hemisphere attack squad with my little homemade device here. She held up what looked like a cobbled-together mess of circuitry and blinking lights. Zarlin's facial ridges flushed purple. With rage, human, do you have any idea who you are dealing with? We are the Galactic Hegemony. We have turned civilizations far more advanced than yours into cosmic dust. Yeah, about that, Dr. Reeves said, taking a sip from her mug. I have been looking at the data from your disabled ships, and I have got to say, for an allegedly advanced alien civilization, your neural interface design is surprisingly, how do I put this nicely, outdated. Like I could have designed something more sophisticated during my undergraduate years, and I spent most of those drunk. The bridge fell deadly silent. No one had ever spoken to Commander Zarlin Vex like this. You will regret your insolence, human. Zarlin hissed. This minor setback means nothing. We have millions more troops and ships for 17 at our disposal, all using the same neural interface technology. One presumed. Dr. Reeves asked, raising an eyebrow, because if so, have got bad news for you. I have just uploaded my disruption signal to every broadcasting station on Earth. Any of your forces that come within range of our planet will find themselves experiencing what I believe your species would call a catastrophic neural feedback loop. Basically, your troops will feel like their brains are being tickled by angry porcupines. Not lethal, but definitely unpleasant science. Officer Mexon approached the commander, whispering urgently, Sir, she's not bluffing. Our scouts report that the disruption signal is indeed being broadcast globally. Any approach to the planet would result in immediate neural system shutdown. Zarlin felt a migraine forming in all 3 of his brain lobes. This was unprecedented. This was unprecedented. This was humiliating. This was going to look terrible on a performance review. What? Northern Fleet disabled. Do you want human? He finally asked I don't want anything, Dr. Reeves replied, looking genuinely surprised. Well, maybe if you go away and leave our plan alone, but mainly I was just offending my home. Like any sentient being would do when confusion. They don't know no Sir Dr. Reeves has been working with an invading alien armada. Pretty standard stuff. This is not over Zarlan. Threatened though even to his own ears. It sounded hollow. Actually, it kind of is. Dr. Reeves countered. But hey, before you go, would you mind answering some questions? I'm dying to know about your faster-than-light travel methods. Our physics models suggest it's impossible, but clearly you have figured something out. Professional curiosity. You understand the absolute audacity of this human. Zarlan was about to cut the transmission when Intelligence Officer Drev Cooler burst onto the bridge. Commander, urgent news, Drev exclaimed, his sensory tendrils quivering with excitement. We have intercepted communications from a human. Governments, they are still unaware of Dr. Reeves' success. They think their experimental weapon satellite caused our retreat. Zarlan's ridged forehead creased in. Completely independently, her signal piggybacked on their regular broadcasting networks without their knowledge. The human governments are currently congratulating themselves on repelling us. A slow, malicious smile spread across Zarlan's face. So Dr. Reeves, your own species, doesn't even know of your achievement. How unfortunate. Dr. Reeves shrugged. Yeah, well, that's bureaucracy for you. I tried telling them 3 months ago when I first detected your approach, but got laughed out of every government office. Something about proper channels and security clearance. So I decided to handle it myself, and now they will never know it was you. Zarlan said, feeling a petty satisfaction. Do I look like I care about credit? Dr. Reeves laughed. I'm a scientist. I care about results. Earth is safe, and I got some fantastic data on alien neurotechnology, but I call that a win-win. Zarian had never encountered. She had just repelled an alien invasion. She'd fed her cat, showing her had 2 cups of coffee, and was now back in her home laboratory, reviewing the data she collected from the alien ships. The doorbell rang, interrupting her analysis. Coming, she called out, puzzled. She wasn't expecting anyone, and through the peephole she saw a man in a delivery uniform holding a package. The delivery for Dr. Reeves, the man said when she opened the door. I didn't order anything, Amanda replied, suspicion immediately flaring. It's from the National Science Foundation. The delivery man explained something about a grant approval. Amanda frowned. She, Supreme Overlord's orders, hadn't applied for any NSF grants recently, but before she could voice her doubt, she noticed something odd about the delivery man. His eyes blinked horizontally instead of vertically. She said casually, reaching behind the door where she'd placed one of her disruption devices. The funny thing about neural camouflage technology is that it has the same basic frequency weakness as your ship's. The delivery man's expression faltered. I don't know what you are, Panda activated. The device, Damari's holographic disguise, flickered, revealing a gray-skinned alien with 4 arms and bulbous eyes. Nice try, Amanda said, points for creativity, though the delivery man disguise was a good touch. The alien infiltrator made a gargling sound that might have been a curse in its native language. Oh, don't worry, Amanda assured that this version of my device won't hurt. You would just disrupt your camouflage and motor functions. Think of it as a temporary paralysis. You'll be fine. In a few hours, the hegemony will not be defeated. So easily, the alien managed to say before its speech functions also began to fail. Yeah, I'm getting that impression. Amanda sighed. Look, why don't we cut to the chase? You can tell your bosses that I'm not interested in being abducted, studied, or whatever else they have planned. I just want to be left alone to do my research. The alien's eyes widened in what might have been surprise. Also, Amanda continued, you might want to let them know that I have prepared a little information package about your invasion for Earth's governments that's set to send automatically if I don't reset it every 24 hours. So if anything happens to me, everyone on Earth will know about the aliens and about my countermeasures. This was a bluff, but the alien couldn't know that its skin toned a paler shade of gray. Now Amanda said, I'm going to call someone to pick you up, a friend of mine who works in a very discreet research facility. Don't worry, they will treat you humanely, and maybe we can turn this into A proper first contact situation. Instead of an invasion, wouldn't that be nice as? She pulled out her phone. The alien infiltrator suddenly convulsed and collapsed small device on its belt, emitted a high-pitched whine, and then went silent. Well, that's not good. Alien infiltration attempt. Amanda muttered, kneeling to check on the alien. It wasn't breathing or whatever. The equivalent was for its species. Self-destruct, really, that's just excessive. She stood up, looking thoughtfully at the alien corpse on her front porch. This complicated things. Clearly the hegemony wasn't giving up, and now she had a dead alien to deal. With her phone rang, startling her, the caller ID showed unknown. Hello? She answered cautiously. Dr. Amanda Reeves? A male voice asked who wants to. No, my name is Director Thomas Walker with the National Security Agency. We need to talk about the alien ship you disabled, and the signal you are broadcasting globally. Randa's heart sank. So much for flying under the radar. I'm listening, she said. A car will be at your location in 5 minutes. Please bring all your research and devices. Oh, and Dr. Reeves, you might want to do something about the alien corpse on your porch before the neighbors noticed the line went dead. Amanda looked down at the alien, then up at the sky where she knew the invasion fleet was regrouping, then back at her house where all her research lay. Well, Schroeder, she said to her cat, who had wandered out to investigate the commotion, looks like things just got a lot more complicated. The cat meowed in what sounded suspiciously like agreement. In the vastness of Space Commander Zarlin, Vex received the automated notification of Infiltration Unit Sigma's termination. He had expected this outcome, but had hoped for better. The human was proving to be even more formidable than anticipated. Prepare Plan Omega. He ordered his second-in-command. If we cannot extract Dr. Reeves, we will have to take more drastic measures, sir. His officer replied hesitantly. Plan Omega would violate the Galactic Accord on I. Know what it violates, Zarian snapped, but I will not be remembered as a commander who lost to a single human. In pajamas, prepare Plan Omega. That's an order. As his crew scrambled to obey, Zarian gazed at the blue planet on the view screen. One way or another, Dr. Amanda Reeves would regret her interference. The game was far from over. The black SUV pulled up exactly 5 minutes later, just as promised. Amanda had barely managed to pack her essential research materials and equipment into a duffel bag. The alien corpse was hastily hidden under a tarp in her garage. Not her finest moment, but she'd been working with limited options. Dr. Reeves, a tall, stern-looking woman in a dark suit, greeted her as she stepped outside. I'm Agent Lydia Mercer. Director Walker sent me to retrieve you. And the visitor, Amanda asked, nodding toward her garage. A cleanup team is already on route. Please get in the car. The drive was silent and tense. Amanda clutched her duffel bag containing her prototype disruptor and research notes. After 30 minutes, they arrived at a nondescript office building on the outskirts of the city. This doesn't look very NSA-ish, Amanda remarked as they walked through an empty lobby. Agent Mercer's expression remained. NSA involvement. 1758 impassive. That's rather the point. Dr. Reeves. They entered an elevator that required a retinal scan and descended far longer than the building's apparent height should have allowed. When the doors opened, Amanda found herself in a bustling underground facility filled with advanced technology and harried-looking personnel. Welcome to Project Sentinel. Director Walker said, appearing before them. He was older than his voice had suggested, with silver hair and calculating eyes. Our unofficial response team for extraterrestrial threats. You knew about the aliens? Amanda asked. Surprise, we detected their approach 3 months ago. Walker confirmed. Been scrambling ever since to find a defense. Amanda's eyebrows shot up. That's when I detected them too. I tried telling everyone, yes, your visits to various government offices are well documented. Unfortunately, you were directed to public F-facing departments that aren't privy to classified information. So while I was being laughed out of government buildings, you guys were down here actually preparing. Walker nodded, and then suddenly the invasion force retreated. We thought our experimental satellite weapon had worked, but the timing didn't match. That's when we started looking for other explanations and found your unusual signal piggybacking on global broadcast. Frequencies, he gestured for Amanda to follow him into a large situation room dominated by screens showing the alien. Fleet position beyond Mars impressive. Work especially for someone working. 1937. Alone with limited resources, Walker admitted, but we have a problem. The aliens are moving again, and our analysts don't think they are leaving in the command center of the inevitable conquest. Zarian Vex reviewed the final preparations for Plan Omega II. In command, Vice Commander Terra Exus stood nervously at his side. The planetary destabilizer is ready, sir, she reported, but I must register my formal protest. Using such a weapon violates at least 7 galactic accords. Your protest is noted, Zarian replied coldly, and ignored if we cannot capture this human and her technology. We will make an example of her world. The destabilizer won't destroy the planet. Terra reminded him it will merely trigger catastrophic tectonic activity. Billions will die, but the planet itself will remain for 2035 eventual colonization, precisely a perfect compromise between vengeance and Plan Omega revealed. 2042, 2047, 2053, 2059. Practicality. Zarlin's mandibles clicked with satisfaction. Begin the targeting sequence. Focus on the major fault lines of their continental plates. As his crew moved to obey Zarlin's communication console chimed incoming transmission. Sir, it is from the Galactic Council. Zarian froze. The Council, rarely involved themselves in military operations, put it through the holographic form of Council. Elder Voxera materialized, her ancient translucent body glimmering with bioluminescent patterns indicating extreme displeasure. Commander Vex, she began without preamble, the Council has received disturbing reports about your intended use of a planetary destabilizer against the species classified as humans. Elder Nara Zarlin said, trying to maintain his composure. The situation requires extreme measures. This planet harbors a technology that threatens the entire hegemony, so your solution is to commit genocide. The Elder's bioluminescence pulsed dangerously. The Council does not agree. A formal inquiry has been opened into your conduct. Furthermore, the human known as Dr. Amanda Reeves has been granted emergency protected status under the Sentient Innovation Preservation Act. What Zarlin couldn't contain his outrage that law is meant to protect unique cultural artifacts, not troublesome scientists. The Council disagrees. Dr. Reeves represents a unique intellect whose innovations qualify for protection. You are hereby ordered to cease all hostile actions against Earth immediately. With all due respect, Elder, this human has single-handedly defeated our invasion force. The embarrassment alone is preferable to the consequences of defying the Council. Elder Nara finished firmly, effective immediately. I am assuming direct oversight of the situation. Stand down, Commander, or face immediate removal and prosecution. The transmission ended, leaving Zarian staring at empty space, his 4 eyes blinking in astonished fury. Sir, Terra ventured cautiously, your orders? For several moments Zarlin said nothing. Then, with visible effort, he straightened his posture. Stand down the destabilizer. It seems we will need to try diplomacy. He spat the last word as if it tasted foul back. On Earth, Amanda was. Galactic Council intervenes, reviewing the schematics for the facility. They are on the move again. Walker announced, striding into the room. Multiple ships breaking formation, coming toward Earth. Amanda asked, immediately reaching for her disruption device. No. They appeared to be leaving all except for one large vessel, which is maintaining position just beyond lunar orbit. A communications officer called. Out, sir, we are receiving a transmission from the remaining ship. They are requesting a meeting. Walker and Amanda exchanged surprised glances. Put it through. Walker ordered the main screen flickered to life, showing Commander Zarlin Vex. He looked distinctly unhappy. Greetings, humans, he said stiffly. By order of the Galactic Council, I am required to inform you that hostile actions against your planet have been suspended. The Council wishes to establish diplomatic relations with Earth, with particular focus on scientific exchange. Amanda couldn't help herself. Did you get in trouble with your bosses? She asked, grinning. Zarlori's facial ridges darkened. Dr. Reeves, I might have known you'd be involved in this communication as well. The Council seems to find your particular brand of scientific impertinence valuable weight, Amanda said. 2400 hours 49, her grin fading. How does the Council even know about me? A new figure moved into the frame beside Zarian, a luminous, almost transparent being whose body pulsed with patterns of light. Because we have been observing your species for some time, Dr. Reeves, the being said. I am. Elder Vox and AR, the Galactic Council, your solution to the Hegemony's neural interface vulnerability was most impressive. Walker stepped forward. I'm Director Thomas Walker of Earth's Defense Forces. May I ask why the Council intervened? The Hegemony operates under Council oversight. Elder Nara explained. Commander Vex exceeded his authority in planning this invasion, and especially in his response to Dr. Reeves' defense system. We only became aware of the said sore loser much. Dr. Reeves. Walker cautioned quietly. Elder Nara's bioluminescence pulsed in what might have been amusement. The Council has granted you protected status, Dr. Reeves, under our Sentient Innovation Preservation Act, but your insights into neural interface technology could benefit many species across the galaxy. Protected status, Amanda repeated. Does that mean I get diplomatic immunity from Grumpy Four Eyes? Here Zarian made a strangled sound of outrage. Essentially, yes. Elder NAR confirmed. Commander Vex will be returning to hegemony space. Immediately, I will remain as interim diplomatic negotiations ambassador until formal diplomatic relations can be established. Walker looked stunned. So, just like that, we are being welcomed into galactic society. Not precisely, Elder NAR said. Earth as a whole remains under observation status, but Dr. Reeves has earned special consideration. We would like to invite her to present her findings to the Council Science Directorate. Me go to space. Amanda couldn't contain her excitement. To an alien science conference? Are you kidding? When do we leave? Amanda. Walker interjected. We need to discuss this. The security implications alone. Director Walker. Elder Nara interrupted gently. I understand your caution, but consider the alternative. The hegemony will return eventually with technology modified to resist Dr. Reeves's current disruption method. Your planet needs allies and advanced technology. This is an opportunity for both. Walker hesitated, then nodded slowly. We will need to brief our world leaders, of course. I will transmit formal diplomatic credentials shortly. Elder Nara's form glimmered. And Dr. Reeves, please bring your cat. The Council's Xenobiology Division has many questions about Earth's domesticated predators. Amanda laughed. Schroinger will love that. He's always wanted to be famous. As the transmission ended, the Situation Room erupted into controlled chaos. Walker was already on a secure line to the president, while various analysts and scientists bombarded Amanda with questions. So Agent Mercer said, appearing at Amanda's side, you have single-handedly prevented an alien invasion, embarrassed their military commander, and scored humanity's first invitation to join galactic society. Not bad for someone who was in cat pajamas. This morning, Amanda grinned. Just. Imagine what I could do if I actually got dressed. 3 weeks later, Amanda stood in the observation lounge of the Council diplomatic vessel Harmonious Exchange, Schroinger contentedly purring in her arms. Earth was a beautiful blue marble. Below them, peaceful and blissfully unaware of how close it had come to disaster. The door slid open, and Elder NAR floated in. Are you ready, Dr. Reeves? We will be journey to the stars, departing for Council space momentarily. As ready as I will ever be, Amanda replied, though I still can't believe I'm the first human to travel beyond our solar system, the first of many I expect. Your presentation to the Science Directorate has generated considerable interest, but several member species are already proposing research exchanges, and the hegemony. What happened to Commander Vex? Elder NAR's bioluminescence flickered in what Amanda had come to recognize as the equivalent of a smile reassigned to regulatory compliance oversight on a mining colony. He will be counting mineral extraction quotas for the next 50 cycles at minimum. Ouch. Almost feel sorry for him, Amanda stroked. Schroinger's for thoughtfully almost ends the hegemony's leadership has also undergone some reorganization. The Supreme Overlord was most displeased with the embarrassment caused by the failed invasion, yet getting beaten by one human in pajamas probably doesn't look great on the galactic conquest. Resume the ship hummed as its engines powered. Up Amanda felt a moment of uncertainty. Are you sure Earth will be? Okay, while I'm gone on protection agreement, is being honored Elder NAR. Assured her a council observation fleet is already in position. Earth is safer. Now than it has ever been. Amanda nodded relieved. Then I guess it's time to boldly go where no neurobiologist has gone before. As the ship accelerated away from Earth, Amanda thought about the chain of events that had led to this moment. One desperate experiment in her makeshift home lab had changed the course of human history. Not bad for someone whose grand applications kept getting rejected. You know what the funniest part is? She said to Eldenar as stars began to streak past the view screen. If Commander Vex had just asked nicely, I probably would have helped them improve their neural interfaces. I love solving technical problems. Perhaps that will be the Hegemony's most valuable lesson from this encounter. Elder NAR replied. Sometimes asking is more effective than invading. I'm putting that on a t-shirt when we get back, Amanda declared. In the vastness of space, Earth receded from view, still turning, still safe, and now with a very different future ahead. All because one scientist had refused to take that impossible for an answer. And somewhere on a distant mining colony, Commander Zarlin Vex was filling out paperwork and wondering where exactly his glorious military career had gone so terribly wrong. The galaxy, meanwhile, buzzed with the story of the human who had outsmarted an entire invasion fleet. It was unprecedented, it was humiliating for the hegemony, and it was, many species agreed, absolutely hilarious. The legend of Dr. Amanda Reeves, Defender of Earth, was just beginning, and she hadn't even had a change out of her pajamas.